Hi guys, my name is Meads. This is going to be a review for SH Figuarts, and we have Zinogre, based off the Monster Hunter series, as well as designed by the artist Takayuki Takeya. I believe he has a major role, especially with the Kamen Rider series. He also designed some of, or probably a lot of the SIC or the Super Imaginative Chogokin Kamen Rider figures, which I also enjoy collecting, and among other things. So it's a really great artist and does a lot of influence with the things we collect. Yep. Quite awesome. I got this through Tato Hobby. I'll provide the link down below if you're looking to get some. And also, this is going to be a blind review, meaning I know little or none at all about the character I'm reviewing, other than it is awesome. Now, the reason for me to get this, and actually I haven't played Monster Hunter. I think I tried it once back in PlayStation or in the PSP. I wasn't too impressed by it, and obviously there is a lot more iteration now, although I don't have a 3DS. But I do have a PlayStation Vita, and I played something similar, and it's called Tokiden 2, which I really enjoyed and made me want to jump into that Monster Hunter thing now. And yeah, so here we go. I'm giving this figure a try, and it is quite awesome. And also, I already have the 8GP Gormagala, which is quite amazing, and definitely will be great to have something to pair up with her. And here we go. So here's the figure here. Now, it says SH Figuarts here on the top corner with Tamashi Mix. So this possibly is based off the SH Figuarts, you know, with the joints and articulation and the size. But obviously, it's going to be a little different. Maybe a little bit of SIC on it, perhaps. But definitely a really cool design. Yeah, it makes you wonder why not. Well, you can't really put it as an AGP because it is not a girl. It does look like a monster. I'm more of a masculine type, so that's probably why they kind of just differentiate it. Just call it an SH Figuarts. Pretty much any Bandai figures now are SH Figuarts. So, alright, so there's some stuff here that I cannot read, unfortunately, but from what I can gather online, Zinogre is one of the quadrupedal monster, kind of like a wolf. And actually, this kind of reminds me quite a bit of Garo, and he's kind of like a electric type kind of deal. And basically, in the game, you can hunt the monster down for materials, and eventually you can make an armor out of that. That's probably the concept on this. Well, concept the whole game, that is. So anyway, so that's pretty much it for the box. Gonna give you an idea of what's in there. And I do apologize for the long intro. Let's take a look inside. Alright, so we have Zinogre here, and he looks amazing. The metallic green, the gold, just awesome. He does have some clear parts, like the clear green here on the eyes, or kind of covers the top part of his face. You got some parts here, purplish white. Might have been clear plastic painted over. Yep, nice details. On the back side, we got some red. Really good looking figure. Now, for those going to be asking how tall this guy is, I mean, looking from the joints on the back side of the knees and even on the elbows right there, it does look like an SH Figuarts figure, which supposedly it is. It's not quite an SIC. Although they can make an SIC figure of this, which I wouldn't mind getting as well. Alright, so let's see here. According to my ruler, it's about 6.5 up to the top of the head. Then if you count the horns, it's going to be 7 inches tall. Yep. For those who use metric. It's about, what is this? 15.5 centimeters up to the head, roughly around there. And probably about 17.5 on top of the horn. Alright, so that's that. And let's go over a few things that I've noticed. Alright, so I want to talk about paint finish. Now, I found a few flaws on mine, like you see mistakes. And I am comparing this with my friend's figure who bought from Tatsu Hobby, same store, and his was, for the most part, good. He got a good one. I always get lucky with QC issues. So on mine, a few things I want to point out, but this is just maybe an isolated case, but there are some paint issues that you'll might find when you get this figure. So here on the corner here, there's some green smudges, probably from the paint there. Not sure how that you got there. Otherwise, we also have this white here, which is not fully painted. You can kind of see the green underneath. Not sure if that's part of the design, but that seems a bit of a inconsistency. Other than that, like here, the tip of that gold there is green. Well, the gold is only painted on top, so yeah. And on the back side here, it seems like could have made the gold a little bit more, so it's a little bit off. I got another red paint there, and maybe even here. It's a few small things, and from afar you don't notice it, but still, it's kind of weird seeing that. Even here, you see that dark spot there. The gold didn't get to that. I mean, we can just pass it off as battle damage. But yeah, it's just one of those things that I want to point out as, you know, part of this review. But you know, nonetheless, from afar, we're not gonna notice it as much. All right. Our next part is articulation. So before we put on the accessories, which I'll probably do another articulation depending where it's located or what that extra add-on is. But without anything else, just the guy in armor. So you get the head here, which, let's see how this thing is. It's kind of weird how it is connected. Like this neck area here is separate, but the neck area, these things are connected on the ball joint. And there is a ball joint for the neck. You can move him side to side there. Although he might get tangled up somewhere, as you can see here. Yep. But there is some neck articulation there. The shoulder armor is connected onto... How is this connected? Over there. Huh. Is that a hinge? Alright, so it seems like it's a ball joint there, or some sort. And it is on a hinge. A bit interesting design. Then you have your butterfly, which you can actually stick out. So you got that joint right there for the shoulder. And you have a hinge joint, which allows you to move the arm up and down. You got your swivel here on the bicep, and you have a double jointed elbow. Yep. Which just gives you a little over 90. And you got your ball jointed wrist. There we go. So that's for the shoulder there, or for the whole arm. Then you got the torso here, which gives you plenty bit of articulation. I mean, there is a bit of a gap onto the side, but still quite nice. His hips are really yeah, slender, or compared to his rest of his body. He has a big shoulders. Then it kind of tapers down onto the waist, then kind of goes out again. I just find it a little odd in terms of the proportions, but you know, still not too bad. Now this, let's see here, it looks like it's connected on a ball joint, or maybe a hinge, but it's connected to the side there. It's kind of hard to see. Now the back plate here is fixed. You cannot move this. Well, seems like it's a tail, but it does not move. Then you have this front part is a bit flexible, and you got your ball jointed waist, your typical SH Figuarts with a hinge, which allows you to move it down for better articulation. So that's that. You got your thigh swivel a little bit there. You got your knee. It's double jointed with a separate knee armor here, which is not too bad. Yeah, not too bad for that. And you got your ankle with a bull hinge. Yeah, definitely you can do a lot of good pose with that ankle hinge. Yeah. And there are some pipe connections here. There is a base, which we'll go over. So overall, articulation is pretty good. Yeah, we can definitely do a lot of cool poses with him. Maybe him jumping or doing, yeah, that's why not. We could do a rider kick with that. But yeah, definitely the armor, despite the armor being bulky, he can move quite a bit. So that is great. Now, let's move over some accessories. Alright, so let's go over this hair here. It's purple, has some white joints there. It's a peg ball joint. And there is also a ball joint here as well as this. There we go, it popped off. Yep. It's in that white cream color. So anyways, we're gonna peg this underneath here onto his nape area. There we go. So definitely you get some articulation there, as well as might have hindered neck a little bit, but you can still move side to side with that, although something is hitting. But yeah, it's nice. You can definitely rotate that hair which way you want it to. It's just, yeah, it's nicely done. Other than that, we have the hands. So the first off, aside from the closed fist here, you have the relaxed hand here, and you have another pair to hold the weapon. And you got 3 pairs total. Oh, I was just wondering about that there in the waist. That is fixed. I thought you can move that, but you can't. Alright, so we have the golden ring here that goes onto the back. Some nice details on it. You can definitely see the skulls there. Quite creepy. Now this piece here is what attaches to the back of Zinogre. It is on a hinge here, and I can also see there's a screw there, which is part of this gimmick. You are able to pop that off, just a tab and bonus. You can actually remove this, and it just pops down here. There we go. It reminds me of that, kind of like the ribbon or the rope or cord behind a samurai when they have that. So, cool gimmick. Otherwise, let's put this back on. And actually, I want to point something out. The hinge on this one is very flimsy. It's just a plastic hinge. And yeah, it's quite loose. This one is fine, but I can kind of see it. Yeah, just want to point that out. But regardless, we keep it on the circular form, it should be fine. Go back here, we're gonna put it through the loop, or the hairpiece that is. Pop that in here. There we go. And you got that nice circular thing on this back. Likewise, we can detach this. Put it down here. And this one as well. And you have that instead. So different configuration, quite nice. Right, so we have the weapon here. From what it looks like a halberd to me. Basically, it's an axe and a spear all together. Quite cool. Got that nifty blades there. I like the contours on that. Really nice details. It's amazing. Now this also reminds me of kind of like the frame arms Ars Vulgar, where there's actually variations to that, but this actually transforms, and similar to Ars Vulgar, this turns into a sight. And to do that, the handle here actually, you can slide this up and kind of just close it down like this. And we're gonna push the blade up here, pull it, and go over. And now it's a cool looking sight. Now to put this on to Zinogre, we can detach it from the bottom here, which is quite great. I got Zinogre here, and I'm just gonna put it onto here. Now this is gonna be quite heavy for him to hold, so definitely there is some merit of maybe opening the other side and using that as a handle. Or maybe have him double build it. I mean, we do have that butterfly joint on the shoulder, and definitely we can do something like that. Actually, why don't we try to do that while we're at it? I put on the right hand, so I still gotta swap out the left hand here. Here we go. I just saw that wrist joint almost pop into two. Right, so let's see here. Get that shoulder joint. That's probably good. Let's put it on both. There we go, and put the bottom side here. Yeah, it's a bit crazy, but just bear with me. And there you go, holding that giant side. Let's see if he can stand with that. It's gonna be really tricky with all the weight and the balancing. Ah, well, you know, we can make him stand with that. Alright, so moving next, there is this giant claws here. Which goes, or swap out the forearm armor with this. Let's take a look on this one before we start doing that. So this one has individual fingers. They're on a hinge. And as well as this. The wrist joint there. Kind of like the wrist joint, but it is a hinge from what we can see there. We got some clear yellow here. Quite nice. This bottom side here, I don't think it's all molded together. So quite interesting. It is labeled also, this R. So let's go ahead and grab a Zinogre, put the weapon down. I'm just gonna leave those particular hands there. I think that'll be okay. Pop this out. Maybe I should swap them out. Alright, so let's just go ahead and swap it back in as I do this. Pop that in. We do the other ones. Or the other side. Pop that out. And put it on. There we go. Let's bang it into those two. There we go. I just realized I already removed the other side. Alright, so anyways, you're gonna get this. It is heavy, but you can still have the elbow joint do the work. Yeah, you just gotta have to play around with it. But yeah, really cool armor. Or I guess it's kind of like his bracers. You can definitely do some damage with those giant claws. Really nice. Alright, so other than that, I think part of the instruction is telling us to remove this chest piece here. So the chest piece to reveal his, well, chest. Let me pop that out. There we go. So this is held by two pegs right there. Kind of hard to see. They're clear, but there's two slits here. It goes to that. So you kind of see his chest right there. As well as we can remove kind of like this faceplate there, the clear green, and reveals his underside. It's like a skull, a fox skull right there, or a wolf. Very menacing. I actually like to keep this on here, but I just want to show that what it looks like without those. Yeah, maybe this one works out for me. This one is kind of iffy with the color, but I just want to have everything there. Alright, so that's that. It does come with an awesome base as well, right here. You see the golden skulls as well. You got this rock, has some red paint on it. And there is one peg for his right. So we're just gonna peg this in here. There we go. And basically, he's gonna kind of balance with his left here. Like that. And obviously you can have him hold this here on the bottom, kind of like in the box art or something like that. But otherwise, you have those two huge bracers for him. Yeah, really cool display piece. Although, I kind of wish there is another peg there just to secure it. Because there is a tendency for this to slide off and or topple back or something like that. But definitely would have been better if there is two pegs on both sole of the feet. Yep. Yeah, this is looking amazing. Alright, so that's that. Let's bring in Gore Magala, just for comparison. Alright, so we have a comparison with Gore Magala here. And yeah, we can see that Zinogre is definitely a lot bigger with all that armor and all that craziness. I could bring out the wings for Gore Magala, but that kind of just gives a full solution. It's more of, yeah, she's still going to be standing that tall regardless. But yeah, really nice to have them both. And for now, we only have this. I think in terms of Bandai figures, we have the HGP Gore Magala and the SS Figuarts Zinogre. I don't think there are any other. Because aside from Bandai, Revoltech or Kyoto is the one making the other Monster Hunter figures, like the Wyverns. I think they even make those cats. Yeah, and as well as the Hunters. Although, let me take that back. There is the Rathalos. There is the Chogokin Rathalos that I reviewed. I should have taken that out as well. But from what I recall, that might be as just tall as Zinogre, but not as bulk. Doesn't have as much bulk as he has right here. So, well, I guess yeah, there's a bit of a variety out there for Monster Hunter in terms of Bandai figures. But it will be cool to see more out of this, and actually, again, we'll like to see it in SIC. That will make it a lot cooler, especially with all the crazy design. And I think that's pretty much it for this review. Overall, despite my paint issues with this figure, it still looked nice. I mean, from afar, you're not gonna notice as much. And there's just a lot going on with the design, the gimmicks, the swappable, this really cool looking weapon here. It turns into the scythe or an axe. Really cool. I really like that concept. So there you go. Again, I got mine from Tatsu Hobby. If you got questions, let me know. So until then, this is Meads. Thanks for watching.